Welcome back to my channel. I go by the name Chosen Spiritual. Today we're going to go into part 3 and recap of part 2 is when Noah found grace with the Most High. The Most High had, he blessed Noah and made a covenant with Noah, and he stated that Noah was a just man. So he respected Noah. And so after the ark, the floods, the Most High favored Noah and built a covenant with him. So we're going to start from where we left off at from the previous videos. So we'll start off with 9:11, God's covenant with Noah. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of the flood. Neither shall any more be a flood to destroy the earth. The rainbow. And God said, this is a token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you and for perpetual generations. So the rainbow from the clouds to the earth was God's covenant, stating that he would never do what he did. And what I mean by that is when he flooded out the earth of rain. 16, this is 9:16. And the bow shall be in the clouds, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. So he's stating that the covenant not only is with Noah, but with the earth also and every living creature that's here. 9:18. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem and Ham, Japheth, and Ham is the father of Canaan. So these is the generations of Noah. These is his sons. So pretty much when the Most High made a covenant with Noah, he also made a covenant eventually with their sons also. So him and Noah had that bond, and so like I said before, the Most High, he had favor upon Noah and said that he was a just man. Noah will also planted in his vineyard. So I guess he had a vineyard where he would, plant, winery type of seeds and, grow, and it became, Noah's job. And I'm going to start from Noah's drunkenness, This is 9:21. And he drank of the wine, and he was drunken, and he was uncovered in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren. So Canaan is who I stated earlier, which is also Ham. This is Ham's son. So this is Noah's son. So basically his grandson, pretty much. So he saw the nakedness of his father when he passed out in the vineyard. Noah got drunk, so I guess he wasn't, perfect, as the Most High seems, but, he's a human, so we all, make mistakes. So he got drunk, and so Canaan seen him and exposed him pretty much. And he went to go tell his brothers. And I'm going to start from, this is 9:23. And Shem and Japheth took garments and laid upon both shoulders and went backwards and covered the nakedness of their father. So they pretty much covered their father up because he was exposed pretty much. 24. And Noah finally wakes up from being passed out from, him being drunk. And so he found out what the youngest son did to him, which is pretty much expose him. So he pretty much he cursed Canaan. And I don't know if that was the best thing to do, because anytime because Noah was drunk, so I think when he woke up from being drunk, he probably was in his feelings. He probably was emotional, to the point that, Canaan exposed me, and so I feel some type of way. So I think he shouldn't have cursed him, because I think he didn't make a logic decision. I think he was just emotional and just kind of spazzed out in a sense, and said that pretty much, curse be Canaan, a servant of a servant shall be unto his brethren. So he was pretty much cursed to the point where he would have to serve his brothers, his older brothers. And so he spoke it out, but I think he was, like I said, I think he was emotional when he did, and I think it was a bad choice, because anytime, either you're going to be blessed or you're going to be cursed. Blessed is of the Most High, cursed, the devil has access. So when he made that emotional decision, then you have to realize that he was drunk. So anytime you're intoxicated or drunk or anything like that, high or anything, it brings your vibration down. So when he woke up from being drunk, it was emotional. Your vibration is down. So then he cursed him. I think he should have waited and made a logic decision before he cursed, Canaan, because that kind of affected the bloodline of Ham, his son. So they're all going to take a hit. Ham descendants are going to take a hit, because that's a curse, that he placed upon Ham, or placed upon Canaan, which I think he shouldn't have. I think he just, like I said, he made an emotional decision. And when he did that, I think he was at a low vibration. He was emotional, and he cursed them. So now he has to be a servant unto his brothers, which can, probably his whole life, pretty much. But we'll read on and see where it goes. So after he cursed Canaan, he blessed Japheth, and he blessed Shem. So both of them was blessed. 27, not 27. God shall enlarge Japheth, and shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan should be his servant. So he blessed those two, and so Canaan will have to be his servant. He will have to serve his two brothers. And then we're going to go down to the descents of Japheth. By these were the ices of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue and after their families and the nations. So you have Japheth descendants, and then you have Ham descendants, and we already know who's under Ham descendants, which is his sons, Cush, Mizraim, Phut, and Canaan. So they go Canaan again, which is cursed underneath that bloodline, underneath Ham's descent. So that curse is going to carry on. So now we're looking at Shem's descendants, which was also blessed. So you got Japheth's descent that was blessed, and then you got Shem's descendants that were blessed. Ham's descendants, unfortunately, Canaan cursed of what he did to Noah. So, and these are, the Canaanites of Ham descendants. So we're going to move on, and we'll get to Shem's line to Abram, which is the generation that was blessed. He was also blessed. That generation was blessed. And then finally you get the call from Abraham. The Most High spoke to Abraham, and Abram was underneath Shem's descendants. And I'm going to start with the call that the Most High spoke about to Abram. Now the Lord has said unto Abram, get thee out of the country, and from them kindred, from the father's house unto the land that I will shew thee. And I will make these a great nation, and I will bless these and make the name great. Those should be a blessing. And also will bless those that bless them, and curse those that curse them. And it should be all families on earth to be blessed. So pretty much he want Abram to relocate. So these descendants, pretty much everybody in these biblical areas, they travel a lot, you know, and the whole purpose was to set up the kingdom of the Most High, you know. So the Most High had Abram move him and his family, I think it was Abram and his wife Sarah, to move to a different location. And pretty much the Most High wanted them to go into Canaan, which is a different area that they're not used to, but the Most High need them to go there so they can set up altars, so they can, you know, speak the word of the Most High. So we got Abram entered Canaan, and of course he took his family with him. We go to 12:5. Abram took Sarah his wife and Lot his brother's son and all of their substance, and they gathered in the souls they have gotten in Haran. And they went forth into the land of Canaan, and into the land of Canaan they came. So they were relocating to pretty much set up shop. You know, once the Most High spoke to Abram and said, you know, I pretty much need you to relocate, and we're going to set up altars. So we'll drop down to 12:8 or 12:7. And the Lord appealed unto Abram and said, unto thy seed I will give this land. And there they built an altar unto the Lord who appeared unto him. So the Most High wanted him to establish there in Canaan, and the Most High promised him, like, hey, I will give you this area, I give you this land. I need you to build these altars up, you know. And so pretty much the Most High needed altars set up in various locations so the word will be spoken, you know. And this was a call over, this was the beginning of Abram, you know. So of course the deception came, you know, when they run into Pharaoh. So it's a lot of discrepancy that's taking place in this time, because eventually is you know, Pharaoh is gonna there's gonna be some issues when it comes to Pharaoh, you know. And this is, I think, Abram, I think he wasn't ready for it, but eventually I think it finally came to pass. But the Most High, of course, he had to be behind what was going on, you know, as far as the movement and them setting up altars unto his name. And so we'll get into deception on the next video, and and I'll tell you about, you know, the interaction that he has with Pharaoh. And this is it for part 3. God bless you.